Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for checking out this video. I hope all of you guys are doing well. What I want to show you in this video is how to play Cory Asbury's Canyons from his album To Love a Fool. I actually made a tutorial out for one of the songs off of this album. I made a tutorial on Unraveling, so it's on the channel if you want to check it out. It's a great song. You'll learn a lot from that tutorial. But what you'll need to know for this lesson are your key of G chords and your key of D chords, and I'll be using a capo for the two ways that I'll be showing you how to play. If you don't have a capo, I'll put some links down below and you can pick a capo that's best for you. And also guys, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like these types of videos. It lets me know if you guys like them, and it lets me know if you want to see this kind of content in the future. Otherwise guys, let's get right into the lesson for Canyons. Alright guys, so with Canyons, the key is originally in the key of A flat or G sharp, and the tempo is 94 beats per minute, and the time signature is 4/4. And like always, I'll show you two different ways how to play the song, but before I show you the first way, I want to show you the strumming pattern first. So the strumming pattern to Canyons will be something like this. It will be down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up. What I'll do, I'll play the strumming pattern at full speed, and then after, I'll play the strumming pattern at a slower pace. This is what the strumming pattern would be at full speed. And this is the strumming pattern at a slower speed. So now that we have the strumming pattern down, I can show you the first way how to play Canyons. So the first way that we're going to play Canyons is with our capo on the first fret and use our key of G chords. So the chords that we'll be using with the capo on the first fret, it's just 4 chords. We'll be using the following chords. It's a G, D, E minor 7, and C at 9. Alright, so for the intro of the song, we're going to go back and forth between the G chord and the C chord. So what we'll be playing for a chord progression is a G and a C. And we'll play that chord progression 2 times for the intro. So the intro will sound something like this. Alright, so for the first verse of the song, we're going to be using the following chord progression. We're going to be using a G to C, back to G, back to C, E minor 7, C, D, and back to G. And we're going to play that chord progression a total of 2 times for the first verse. So the verse will go something like this. I've scaled all the highest of mountains, but I still couldn't see to the edge of your love for me. I've walked on the wildest of waters, but I still couldn't fathom the depths of your love for me. So then that brings us to the chorus of the song. So for the chorus, it's a little bit different of a chord progression. We'll be using the following chords for the chorus. We'll be using an E minor, C, G, D, back to E minor, C, D, and G. So the chorus will go something like this. Canyons wide can't contain all your love for me, no matter how high. So then after the chorus, we go back into the next verse, and that next verse is the same chord progression as the first verse, so no chord changes there. And then after that second verse, we go back into the second chorus, and no chord changes there, so everything's the same there. So the next part of the song is the bridge, and with the bridge there are a lot of chord changes, so I want to split it up into two parts. I want to show you the first part of the bridge and then the second part of the bridge. So for the first part of the bridge, we'll be using the following chords. We'll be using a C, G, D, C, G, and D. So for the second part of the bridge, that's the line that starts with "Beyond the stars to the very breath I breathe." That's the second part of the bridge I like to consider. So with that part, we'll be using the following chords. We'll be using C, D, E minor, C, and D. And that might be a little confusing at first. If it is, just rewind the video, keep practicing it, and you'll get it. So the bridge will go something like this. Where could I run that you wouldn't run after me? Beyond the stars to the very breath I breathe, there's no end to your love for me. So then after the bridge, we go back into the chorus, but for the last chorus, Cory actually plays it a little bit differently. So there is a different chord progression for that last chorus. So the chords that we'll be using for that last chorus are a C, G, E minor, and D. And we'll play that chord progression 2 times for that last chorus. So that last chorus will sound something like this. Canyons wide, oceans deep, no matter how high or far I reach, so then after the last chorus, Cory concludes the song. And so that's ultimately the first way how to play Canyons by Cory Asbury. So for the second way on how to play the song, we're going to move our capo to the 6th fret of the guitar, and we're going to be using our key of D chords. And so the chords that we'll be using on the capo on the 6th fret are just 4 chords. It's going to be a D, A, B minor, and G. So for the intro of the song, we're going to go back and forth between the D chord and the G chord. So our chord progression is a D and G. And we'll play that chord progression 2 times for the intro. So the intro will sound something like this. So then after the intro, we go into the first verse. So for the verse, we're going to be using the following chord progression. We're going to be using a D to G, back to D, back to G, B minor, G, A, and D. And we're going to play that chord progression twice for the first verse. So the verse would go something like this. I've scaled all the highest of mountains, but I still couldn't see to the edge of your love for me. I've walked on the wildest of waters, I still couldn't fathom the depths of your love for me. So then after the verse, we go into the chorus, and for the chorus, it's a different chord progression, so we'll be using the following chords. We'll be using B minor, G, D, A, B minor, G, A, D. So the chorus will sound something like this. Canyons wide, can't contain all your love for me, no matter how high. So then after the chorus, we go into the next verse, and that next verse is the same chord progression as the first verse, so no chord changes there. And then after that second verse, we go into the second chorus, and there's no chord changes there. Everything's the same there, so you can play the same thing. So then after the second chorus, we go into the bridge. I like to split up the bridge into two parts, so I'm going to show you the chord progression for the first part and the chord progression for the second part. So the first part of the bridge, that's the first line of the bridge. The chord progression for that, it's going to be a G, D, A, G, D, and A. And the second part of the bridge, that's the line that says beyond the stars. That chord progression is going to be G, A, B minor, G, and A. That might seem confusing at first, but if you're having trouble, just rewind the video, keep practicing it, and you'll get it. So the bridge would go something like this. Where could I run that you wouldn't run after me? Beyond the stars. So then after the bridge, Cory sings a final chorus, but this final chorus is a little bit different. There's a different chord progression, so we're going to change the chords for that last chorus. So the chords that we'll be using for that last chorus are a G, D, B minor, and A. And we'll play that chord progression twice for the last chorus. So that last chorus will sound something like this. Canyons wide, oceans deep, no matter how high or far I reach, so after that last chorus, Cory ends the song, and that's ultimately the second way on how to play Canyons by Cory Asbury. So the next part of the lesson is the playthrough, and if you guys are familiar with my tutorials on the channel, you'll know that I'll put both ways how to play the song side by side. So what I'll do with Canyons is I'll sing the verse, chorus, the bridge, and then I'll sing that last chorus. And with the playthrough, it really gives you an idea of how the chord changes go and how it sounds all together with the song. But hopefully it's helpful to you guys. Let me know in the comment section if you have any questions at all. But otherwise, try your best with the playthrough. I wrestle belief in the valley. I barely hung on through the night, but just when I thought it was darkest, the sun began to rise. Canyons wide, oceans deep, can't contain all your love for me. No matter how high or far I reach, there's no end to your love for me. Where could I run that you wouldn't run after me? How could I fall when you already took the fall from me? Beyond the stars to the very breath I breathe, there's no end to your love for me. Canyons wide, oceans deep, can't contain all your love for me. No matter how high or far I reach, there's no end to your love for me. Alright Alright guys, so that's the lesson for Cory Asbury's Canyons off of his album To Level Fool. If you have any comments or questions at all, please let me know in the comment section down below. I'll try to reply as quick as I can. Also guys, let me know in the comment section down below of any song requests that you guys have or any tutorials you want to see here on the channel. I love to know what kind of songs you guys want to learn. Before you leave the video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to keep updated with future videos guys. But overall, hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. I'll see you guys in the next video.